How to detect spirit want to speak to you. Okay, in the mediumship course, we do this where you actually have to ask spirit for your opening. It is a moment when they trigger you to let you know that they want to communicate with you. And when you're developing, this is a very good skill to have, to understand. It saves all the time because there's messages all around us all the time. But a lot of times we don't pick up on it. But when you start working with spirit, you'll find that if you have sort of a sign or a symbol from them, and even loved ones, suddenly your will changes for you. Okay, so here are some of the ways that spirit might communicate with me. They send me songs, so I start hearing a song in my head, and then I listen to the words, and then certain words seem to highlight more. So that's one of the ways that they communicate. I might get cobwebs on my face. That's normally children when I'm doing paranormal. A tingle down my back or side or area of my body can be a sign that spirit want to speak to you. Ruffling my hair. There's also different ways that they try. And so take your time out, cleanse in nature, do one of our meditations, and then I'll just ask spirit for a sign that is your sign to know that when they want to communicate with you. Because remember, your soul is also guiding you, but spirit want to develop you. And so when you learn to work with your development guides, and when you learn to open the lines of communication, you will find that there's all different ways that they will. Flashes of light for me is another way. If I'm really on the right path, or my path is really showing, I get fireworks in my head. Excuse me. So they send me a picture of fireworks in my head. So it could be images that you get as well. Or if it's intuition and gut feelings, you'll get something like, "Oh, I must call somebody," or "I must go to a certain place," or blah blah blah, or to open a book and there'll be a certain word on the page, the highlights. These are all different ways that you're getting messages all the time. So work with trying to find out what your opening is. As I say, it could be a feeling. Some do talk. Some shout your name. So there's all different ways, and you just need to get into nature and ask them for how they communicate with you. What is their way? And it will be something simple. And if you want to know about loved ones as well, here's a good point to do, is that when you feel or you get a gut feeling of one of your family members around or whatever, then basically what you could do is just ask them. I've got one of the videos, one on the course, where you can actually just ask them for a symbol. It's part of my mediumship, opening up and talking to spirit. So, you know, when my nanny's around, she basically gives me a hug like she used to do on the earth and shakes me. That was her distinctive way I know that she's around. And it just saves you time, because we get so caught up in the world, the human experience, that we don't see the signs. You know, how many times are you busy doing something and you heard, "Oh, I must give such and such a call," or "Don't forget to put that safe," or one thing and another, and then you forget all about it. So get a little notebook, because it's magical when you start making notes and you start to recognize these signs, and you start to get information through, and then you get confirmations later. I mean, it could be a day, could be a week, could be a month, but suddenly you think, "Oh, that's why I got that information. That's why I had to put that safe. That's why when I was talking to my friend, they mentioned certain words that really stood out," you know? And then you get confirmations, and then it feels right in your heart, and you know then that you are being guided. Spirit is helping you, and there's messages all around you. So work on your sign to know the spirit are communicating. You know, you don't have to open up. You don't have to communicate with them. But the more you open the lines of communication, the easier it is to get information, because you already know that you just need to let go, clear all your emotions, and then connect to them and get the information. And it just helps you at times. And especially being able to see signs around, you know. There could be an object around. You could pick up an object and actually just sort of like use all your senses, connect to that object, and ask what the message is. And then you'll get information. I did a candle once, and it was amazing the information I got from the candle. It was part of a workshop, and basically I put 20 words down that associated with the candle or what came to me. I mean, at first your brain kicks in, but then it switches off, and then it's the spirit world talking. And I was able to go into each one of those messages and expand that even more. So, I mean, like for example, light came to me. So I did, and they were saying how you can lighten the darkness and how you can be a light in you know, in situations where people need help, but just by listening and supporting. And it gave me a whole different story with that. So even though I chose 20 different words, it gave me another load more. So, you know, and like messages in a box as part of my pack. You can get messages each day by going to your place and asking them to bring a box. And in the box is a message for you for that day. So there's loads of different ways, and that's what I love about mediumship. Loads of different ways to get involved, but you got to experience it. You got to get your connection. You got to open the lines. You got to communicate with them, and the more you do that, and follow your heart, because your heart will give you confirmation or a feeling if it's right, and not just your brain kicking in. And remember, it always comes to you. The message when we're working with spirit, it always comes to you. It's variable. It's not like, oh, you know, your brain going, oh, you got to go through that door, is someone coming through the door, da, da, da. You know, that's the way it works. So yeah, it's very good. Find out what your sign is, what your opening sign is.